Thanks a lot for coming in. Good morning. Happy to be here.
Something about this community appeals to you?
This is a wonderful place to live.
For KelownaNow, this is Camp Mulgat. And we're joined by Kelowna City Councillor Charlie Hodge. Charlie, thanks for coming in.
Honor.
So the subject we wanted to talk about today, I guess I'd like you to sort of describe it, is that you continue in your role as a city councillor, but under pretty unusual circumstances.
Well, unusual, I suppose, in the fact that not too many people get to die and have a long time to know they're dying and can kind of dictate how they go about doing that.
I mean, you made it quite clear that you have very little time left.
Right.
You would say you're not likely to live out this term on council.
Well, we'll see about that. But chances are good I won't, Kent. But I beat the odds over and over and over, so I've learned to never say never, but chances are good I won't.
Here's where it gets interesting. So there you sit with the same role and responsibility of all members of council.
Right.
But you were saying kind of a clarity that comes when your days are few, that you don't need to concern yourself with getting reelected. Tell me about this clarity that you feel.
Well, it's a kind of a liberating thing. To me, it reduces a lot of the stress and pressure when it comes down to major decisions, because I really maintain, and I have forever, the two things that, as a small P politician, a municipally elected official, my role is to represent the people and think about the long-term vision for the community, not just short-term, but long-term and even longer than that. And there's a propensity when you're a councillor to not be able to really do that because you're constantly in the back of your mind worrying about the next election or how what you do is going to impact your family and your friends and how they're going to react to you, and the long-term spin-offs of your short-term comments. So I look at it and say, I know I won't see the future for the decisions I'm going to make. How much more important it is that I make a really good, clear decision for the future.
So you're free to make decisions without certain encumbrances or worries about reaction.
We all are, but I think sometimes we fail to remember that. Each of us is free to do that, but it's just the human nature of the game that you tend to sometimes, I never really did a lot, but quite often you're kind of impacted or motivated by circumstances ahead of you. When you don't have any circumstances ahead of you, there's nothing to impact you. It's very liberating.
I just want to say that the whole aura around you is pretty positive for a guy in your circumstances. And as we were discussing before this, what I'm hearing from you is that with limited days ahead, each day takes on great value.
Absolutely. Every morning, I was mentioning to you earlier, every morning when I wake up, the first thing I do, or try to remember to do, is to say thank you. And that came out of my last time I was in the hospital when I was on life support, and they said I wouldn't make it, and I did, thank goodness, thanks to my wife and doctors and others. But the bottom line is I wake up now every morning and I say thank you, because I am thankful for the fact that I woke up, and I'm thanking the higher powers to be, because in a twisted way it kind of almost tricks me into a positive attitude. I wake up every day feeling like crap. I'm exhausted. I don't want to get out of bed. But as part of what emphysema does is it tricks your body into telling you, oh, you're exhausted, don't get out of bed. It doesn't want you to get out and get up. So I force myself to get up, get going. Next thing you know, I feel great. But mentally, I can feel depressed and down all the time. It's very easy. I have to battle depression a lot. And so I wind up saying, thank you. And as corny as it sounds, Ken, even just that action of saying thank you seems to stimulate a positive thought process in my mind. And so I try to approach every day like it's my last, because it probably is or could be. And the bottom line is that you have, no matter what you do in life, you have a choice. You always have a choice. You may not have a choice in what your cards are dealt, but you have a choice in how you play them. So I can go about being depressed about the fact that I'm dying, or I can say, you know what, I'm not dying with emphysema, I'm living with emphysema. And I choose to make this the best day I can. I choose to try and make my people and friends around me happy rather than sad. And I choose to try and find good solutions for my community. When I was a journalist such as yourself, we used to always tell everybody that we were the eyes and the ears of the community. So I think now as a politician, I'm the voice of the community. And
Right.
so this is much more than Charlie Hodge. This is Kelowna. This is the people. There's a lot of people out there that elected me that trust me to do what I believe is the right thing based on what the general public wants and needs. It's that much easier in a twisted way to do that, knowing that the decision I make today could be the last one, and I want to make damn sure that's one I'm proud of, one that I feel good about when I go to sleep tonight.
Right. So, does this scenario that you've just described, does that, do you think, give you sort of an added value on council to be that voice, to remind people, hey, here's a decision, let's make the right decision, could be my last?
I don't think my voice is any more important than anyone else's. I think there's 9 of us. It takes 9 to make decisions. What I hope is that occasionally that passion or that importance of making good decisions based on a human factor rather than a financial might influence other councillors about the way I think is the right way. We had a talk yesterday about parks and the importance of buying parkland, but also fixing parks. And I got very passionate about that because to me that's a huge legacy. If by getting passionate about that issue, I may have motivated 1 or 2 other councillors to think about their vote, then I did a good thing. Then I did what I wanted to do. I try not to take advantage of it. I try not to play on that for people's empathy. That's not the point. I just want people to see things through my eyes, clear in the fact that there's no redo for me next week necessarily. I've got to get it right, and I've got to do it now.
I've always seen you as quite comfortable being the thorn in the side of other members of council.
Okay.
You know, certainly comfortable being the vote of dissent.
Right.
Is that at all altered, or is that?
No, because I've never tried to be controversial. I've never been against the grain for the sake of being against the grain or standing out. My dad was on city council, and he used to always say the politician does nothing right, because the politician does nothing at all. You know, when the politician does nothing wrong, the politician does nothing at all. Yet you're going to make decisions that are going to upset other councillors. There's just no way around that. You got 9 different people. So I just refuse to not call BS when I see it. If I think something's wrong, I'm going to say so. That's how I've been most of my life as a columnist and a journalist, and it's how I was in high school, and how I am around the backyard. I'm not afraid to be the only voice because it's just my opinion.
Yeah.
My opinion is of great value, but it's of no greater value than anyone else's.
Yeah. All right. Wow. I think our time's coming to an end here. Any final comments on what we're talking about here?
Well, just that it's an honor and a pleasure to talk to you, to have the ability to represent the people of Kelowna. And I guess it comes right down to when you've got a choice and you have a choice, take the high road.
Thanks, Charlie. It's been great.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching Kelowna Now.